Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting podcast with Supplier T News. I have with me, as always, my podcast conversationalist partner guy, Ray
Oh my
Hayes.
God.
So-
You should say
we
that's
need, we
getting worse
need,
and worse.
we
Yeah,
need
that's
to
getting worse and
get.
worse. I don't know. The crime and crime. I mean, partner in crime.
I
Was
never
your
said
partner
partner in
now
crime.
and this?
Wait, maybe I did.
Well, I mean, not partner in crime, but I was. Well,
No, I didn't.
you know what I'm saying.
I
You
said
didn't say it
podcast
like
partner.
that, but you
Yeah,
didn't. Yeah,
maybe I
yeah.
did.
Just let's
I
just
don't
say,
remember, man. I don't remember.
yeah.
I can't
Just
remember.
say Ray Hayes.
Yeah. Okay.
Just say Ray Hayes.
We gotta get you a an official title or something, man. Blank,
Just say Ray Hayes.
underscore, fill in title Ray Hayes. So welcome again.
Yeah.
but again,
What's
welcome
going
to
on?
to another podcast, everybody. Thanks for tuning in and listening to us. On today's episode, we're gonna talk about the big news that's happening, in my opinion, all throughout the nation, which is President Trump on Saturday, you know, finished his first 100 days. Um, for us, what we want to specifically zone in on is the Correspondents Dinner. Um, and, we want to talk about first 100 days, give our, quick thoughts, the Correspondent Dinner, and what that means for America. And then we want to also talk about his next about 1,300 days and what that could mean for not only America, but the world. So, let's go ahead and let's start out. So I'm gonna pass it to you, and we're gonna start right in the middle. Let's talk about the White House Correspondents Dinner. Um, let's talk about.
Okay.
Let's start off with President Trump's speech, and then we'll go from there. So, Ray, go ahead and give your thoughts on the speech.
Well, as some of you all may know, and Jamie, I know you know, President Trump, he did not attend the correspondence dinner. He went to a rally in Pennsylvania, and during the rally, spoke about some of the things he's done within his first 100 days in office. But he poked fun at the correspondence dinner. He went on. I'm just paraphrasing everything. I'm not going to give you the whole thing he said, but he went on to talk about how he's happy to be in Pennsylvania with really, really good people instead of at a corresponding dinner with the media, in which basically people with fake news. And he did go about restating that CNN and MSNBC is fake news, and he didn't want to be there. And he's happy to be, like I said, in Pennsylvania with really good people. So basically, saying the people who were attending the correspondence dinner were probably who are some of his friends weren't as good as the people that he was seeing with in Pennsylvania. Like I say, he went over some of the policies he's done. And it was basically almost like a campaign speech,
A rally, yeah,
a pre
yeah.
getting people prepared for his possibly his next run in office. But as we learned today, he didn't expect the job to be so hard. So who's to tell if he will run again? Because the president's job is very, very hard, and what he used to do is much less easier. So who knows? But that's beside the point. Like I said, his rally was just getting people prepared, like a prep rally. That was it.
Yeah.
And Hassan Manasseh, I don't know how to pronounce his last name correctly, but Hassan Manasseh.
Minhaj or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
Minhaj. I'm sorry to mess up his name, but he was the big star of the correspondence dinner with some of his jokes he said, and one of the jokes he stated that it would be it's kind of well, let me read it. Who would have thought with everything going on in the country that a Muslim would be standing on this stage for the ninth year in a row? He's referencing the fact that people thought Barack Obama was a Muslim. So he was the star of the night, and he definitely poked fun at Trump. And he stated that maybe the reason Trump didn't attend the correspondence dinner was because he couldn't take a simple joke. And that may be the case, because I'm not sure what year it was, but Trump Trump before he was a president was at the correspondents dinner
Yeah.
while President Obama was in office, and President Obama made some jokes about him. And during I believe I was watching a documentary or one of the shows, and they stated that Trump, he did not like the jokes. He was kind of pissed off about some of the jokes President Obama made about him. And they weren't harsh, but President Obama poked fun at the fact that Trump went about trying to get his birth certificate, saying that he wasn't born in the U.S. So he said some funny things, and supposedly Trump did not like it, and that fueled his ambition to run for president of the United States. Basically, okay, I'll show you. You want to talk about me? I'll show you that I can have this job too, so to say.
He showed everybody.
Yeah.
I'll give
but it is kind of strange because why? What's the reasoning behind not attending the correspondents dinner?
Well,
I understand it's a big greeting. It's like all the media is there, and people you may not like may be there, but at the end of the day, why not attend it? And possibly it could be because he didn't want to hear any of the jokes.
Yeah, well, so on,
go ahead,
on that note specifically, and I do want to ask you a question after this, but on that specifically, I think in understanding the President Trump brand, one of the things that's given in the brand is that he doesn't like any type of confrontation or any type of negative, I don't know, feedback or any negative press he hates, right?
Right.
And there's nothing more negative per se than you sitting at a dinner and people are making fun of you. Essentially, and when people make fun of you, they're not going to make fun of you for your positives. They're going to make fun of you for your negatives.
Correct.
Yeah. So that is the quintessential event that President Trump would never want to be at. He can't handle news outlets criticizing anything. So I can only imagine how he can handle, a professional paid comedian whose job it is to research everything you've ever done in your life and make fun of you for it. We don't think it's that bad. Other presidents from, Clinton to Bush to Obama didn't think it was that bad either. But, Trump and his ego, he's the last, he honestly can't take a joke. He can't take criticism, which, most presidents can't, but he's just on another level due to his ego. So it makes sense. But on that note, I've read in a couple of places that they said that President Trump's speech was the most divisive presidential speech ever. Do you think that's true?
His speech in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say ever. No.
Do you think it helped to divide? Do you think it helped to?
Yeah, I think he's definitely. He's putting a big division, and within the country. Definitely between the media and the White House, and just conservatives versus liberals. He's definitely putting. He's spreading the divide more and more.
Is it even conservative versus liberals, or is it Trump backers versus everyone else?
No way. Yeah, I think that's a better. I think that's a better way to
because
to look at it.
I'm a conservative, and I don't like the stuff that he's doing.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a better way to say it. Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right about that. But he seems to not care. The fact that I think he knows he's putting in. There's going to be a divide, but he seems not to really care that much. So, these are the people who backed him from the get-go. So he has to play to this base.
I don't think he knows. Well, he obviously has to, but I think the problem with him is he doesn't know what he's doing, right? I think so for President Trump, and then we can talk about his first 100 days and then afterwards. But for President Trump is all about Trump, right? He has a huge ego, and he wants to do things that make what he believes himself look good and in power. And I don't think it's that he's a white nationalist or anything like that, but I think he doesn't care who supports him as long as they support him. Like if he hosts a rally and it's nothing but a million members of the KKK comes out, he's gonna love it. If he hosts a rally and it's 1 million people of the Black Panther Party coming out, he's gonna love it. All he cares about is the attention and his ego being fed more and more. I was actually watching a documentary about Napoleon
You know what?
Bonaparte.
Howard Stern. I'm sorry, cut you off real quick. I want to say something. I know Howard Stern spoke recently, said similar things like you're saying. You have to stroke his ego, and he stated that he didn't understand why President Trump ran for office, because he's going to see that, okay, people. He thinks everybody likes him, and when he starts to feel as though people are going against him, he'll start suffering a nervous breakdown.
Really?
He needs that attention. Yeah, it's an article out there. Howard Stern said it during the first few days President Trump was in office. I think maybe prior to him getting into office. But I'll send it to you, and I'll send it out on our social media feeds as well. But he just talked about how he did not understand how the reason Trump ran for office, because his past life was perfect.
Yeah.
But
Well,
now he
for
has
him,
all the criticism, and now he has people who are going to go against him, but he's sometimes oblivious to that. He thinks everybody likes him. But when he sees as though people are going against him, he's going to suffer a nervous breakdown, because he cares so much about the fact that he wants to be approved, or he wants to be liked.
yes.
I mean, he may be oblivious to the fact that, hey, some people think the stuff you're doing is kind of crazy. Some people may not like it.
Yeah. Well, I think
Crazy is a bad word, but some people may not like it.
yeah, I think that's clear that he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand why he's pissing so many people off. Like I think that's very clear. Like when people criticize him, he honestly doesn't understand what he's doing wrong. And
Right.
so
Right.
I agree with you on that one. The nervous breakdown kind of worries me.
Yeah.
Because he is there's way too much there's way too many situations America is in right now where we can't have our president having nervous breakdowns, whether it be North Korea, Syria, Russia, or even at home. We're talking about Obamacare. He's trying to figure out ways to fix that. A new tax plan. Like we're at a. It's as much as people get on, the Obama administration. They actually did a really good job to set up their next president. Whoever the next president is, whether that had been Trump or Clinton, should have a much easier time in taking it to the next level outside of foreign affairs. But domestically, they should be okay. And if he screws this up, I mean, I don't even know, because what's happening, and let's actually segue over to his first 100 days. Um,
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about the positives that happened under Trump's first 100 days, they're all executive orders. Outside of him appointing, Neil Gorsuch as Supreme Court justice, which I'm pretty sure somebody just told him to do it, so whatever. Which, if you're the president, that's normal. You're not gonna know every,
Yeah.
justice, whatever. So that's fine. But outside of executive order, because at some point he has to push forth legislation, and that's
Correct.
where it gets scary, because he doesn't understand what he's supporting. So
But the person who's telling him to go about, giving him the advice, they should really sit down and explain to him. Somebody that has some
see,
experience
yeah,
and within the White House need to sit down and talk to him and explain to him, hey, yes, you're putting out these executive orders, but when you go about putting out these orders, they have to go to these laws and get passed by the Senate and the House. You got to have people who are going to back you. And right now, he has a small amount of people who are backing him. You
yeah,
got even people in his own party who are going against him now.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's more Republican Party. That's less about him. But to your executive order point, it's funny you should say that. I've read some articles where they talk about how President Trump doesn't even know what's in the executive orders. He hasn't even read them.
He hasn't even read them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you are right. I did hear that. You are right. Yeah,
Yeah,
you are right. I did hear that.
yeah. So when you're the president, I mean, look at Bush and look at Obama, right? They both
Right.
have these overreaching doctrines where they were like, "This is what I want to do in office," right?
Uh-huh.
President Trump doesn't have that. And I know some people are saying, well, President Trump has, he has the whole like he wants. I guess for his would be the whole taxes. So cutting taxes for like corporations and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, man, you breathing hard into
Yes.
the.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry
Oh
about
no,
that.
you good, you good.
Step on.
But
Is that better?
yeah, much better. But his whole thing
Okay.
is like cutting taxes, but he doesn't understand what that means. So I think I talked about how like he wanted to drop taxes to 15% or whatever, corporate taxes.
Yeah. Corporate taxes. Yes.
But the problem with that is, I think whatever I was reading, they said that if you cut corporate taxes to 15%, that'll generate 280 about 270 billion in revenue for the government. But
Mm-hmm.
the federal programs to pay for like for low income programs such as like food stamps, and things of that nature, that cost the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
about 310 billion. So those tax cuts,
Wow.
yeah, so those tax cuts are making it unable to pay for things that the government already supports.
Hmm.
So
And
even
then
though,
it's even with that, the tax cuts. He sent out a plan to plan what he plans to cut. They're lacking detail.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
It's like one page. I believe he said it's a one page document saying, okay, we're going to cut this and this and that, but it doesn't give any details about how it's going to happen, what we're going to do with the funds, and so on and so forth. So
yeah. I mean,
it
we're looking at a guy who's in
kind of
over
just
his head.
left it.
Yeah, we're looking at a guy who's in over his head. Luckily, the government was prepared for this, right? This is why the government was set up. So if a president ever got elected where the guy was in over his head, there are a ton of checks and balances that will make sure that the country can still run smoothly, um, if need be. I mean, it's one of those. The president doesn't have as much power as people think. Under
Right.
and under in Obama, for example, it's probably not what you want because he probably needed a little bit more power to get what he needed to get done, completed. But under like a President Trump, you thank God the president doesn't have as much power as you think, because if he did, we
Yeah, we're in
yeah
trouble.
yeah, because he just doesn't know. He just isn't familiar, and he's got a 1,300 days, so he may figure it out eventually. But for right now,
Yeah.
you do not want him to have a bunch of
And the
power.
thing is, I hope he figure. I'm not against him. I'm not like, okay, I don't want him to figure it out. I hope he figures it out.
I hope he does what's best for America.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
realize that. But so let's get into these first 100 days. So if you had to grade President Trump, A, B, C, D, or F, what would you give him?
I'm gonna go based off your article you wrote.
Well, let's not go over that
And
because I'm actually
no,
different. I'm actually different than that.
no, okay. I'll give him right now. I'll give him a grade um, of a D,
A D,
a
you said?
high D. Yeah, high
D
D,
plus? Yeah, that's actually what I
high
would give
D
him.
C,
Yeah, that's
high
actually what
D
I
and
would.
C range.
Yeah, that's actually what I would give him. D plus, C minus.
Because the fact that yes, he is in over his head. At the same time, he is trying. He's trying to get some things in order. But a lot of things he's saying and some of the bills executive orders he's going about passing, he's having a lot of trouble, especially with the travel ban. Right now with the tax reform, it's the fact that how is it going to work?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the overall plan? And he needs to stray away from these pep rallies, in my opinion. It's not campaign season. I mean, that's why I'm giving him a D, because it seems to be he's still running for president. He's not the president. He's constantly having these campaign rallies, and like we talked about earlier, he's putting it's becoming a division within our states. You have, like you said, the Trump backers and the
And
the
everybody
average
else.
day
Yeah.
regular American. Yeah,
Everybody else.
regular Americans. So there has to be. You have to bridge that gap. You can't just play to your support base. He has to get away from that. And the fact that he's putting the media, making the media out as the bad guy, I think that's hurting him more than anything. And blaming President Obama for everything as well,
Well,
I don't think that's good either.
that's normal
So that's
president.
why I'm giving him that grade.
Well, the last
But
part.
everything,
Well, that
Michael Flynn being hired and not getting a security check is President Obama's fault. Why
yeah,
did they
that's kind
hire
of
him? It-
yeah, that's
It's
yeah, that one.
it's kind of like, come on, man,
Yeah,
stop.
that one was a bit too far. But in his
Yeah,
defense, every president their first year, they always blame the prior president for all the bad things that happened, and they always take credit for all the good things. So that's normal practice.
yeah,
Um,
you're right. Because Obama did blame Bush a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
about
oh yeah,
on this thing.
oh yeah.
So I
He,
agree about that, but I'm just tired of hearing. I'm hearing about it. So
you're
that's
gonna hear that for the rest of the year, and that's normal. You're gonna hear that all year.
but
Now,
that's the reason I gave him a D, D high D
low
C.
C,
Yeah, high D. I gave him a high
high
D.
D, low C. Well, the reason
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense. So stop, campaigning and start doing your job.
yeah,
Stop blaming other
yeah,
people.
definitely.
Start doing your job. That makes sense. Okay, I gave him the exact same grades, a D plus C minus range because he still hasn't. I'm leaning towards you. He still hasn't figured it out, and he has shown no. There's nothing that he's done in this first 100 days that will make me believe that his next 1,300 days are going to be any better.
No, maybe the way he's going now is like, man, kind of is not afraid to see, but kind of skeptical to see what's going to happen in the next 100 days. So
Yeah,
in 200 in this 200 days in office, what's going to happen?
yeah. I don't like. So I didn't like when President Obama did this, and I don't like when President Trump does this. And when President Obama just comes out and just, especially when the healthcare, and he just promised everything to everybody,
Yeah,
and then it turned out, guess what?
you can't do all
Yeah,
that.
exactly. It's not possible to do all that. You can't keep your healthcare plan, and then your costs are going to go down. Like like, and then all these
Right.
magical things. It's just not possible. And President Trump is doing the exact same thing. And he's talking about all these. You can keep all the great things about Obamacare, and even more people are going to get healthcare, and your costs are going to go down. No, that's not possible.
Right.
And there's been a
Right.
couple of conservatives who have already look. My thing is this: if you're going to run the government as a business, that's fine, but understand that if you run government and healthcare as a business, you're not going to insure as many people, right?
No.
Because you
No,
have
not
to
at
run it.
all.
Yeah, you got to run it as a profit, which means that not everybody can afford the product that you're selling, which would be healthcare, which means that you're going to lose millions of people. However, the government's going to run a profit in that process, as well as the healthcare companies are going to run a profit in that. They may pay, they may hire more people, whatever. But if that's the plan, then that's the plan. However, you can't
Hmm.
do, you either do that, which is run it as a business, lose, those 15, 20 million people, and have health insurance companies in all markets, generating profit, or you go the left side and you go the Obama plan, which is you expand Medicaid and Medicare, and pretty much increase taxes, or you have to increase the amount that health insurance costs per month so that you can insure more people.
Right.
Like you
Right.
can't you can't do both here. Like you can't. It's not possible. That's the big issue with uh, you know, conservative Republicans and the more moderate Republicans, which is the further right you get for the conservatives, the less people can have health care. That's just it is what it is. So regardless, however that turns out, he's because he's changing Obamacare. And although Obamacare cost a ton, it covered more people because it cost a ton, or it cost more. No matter what he does, people are gonna fall off. It's gonna happen, and I don't like the fact that he's just gonna lie about it because that's what he does. He just says like he gave this one comment about how his first 100 days has been the most successful in the history of America or some crap like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he gave that, and it was like he said that, and it's like what? Uh, but in addition to that, I do want to point out one thing. These rallies, as much as we hate them, that's the reason why he's getting these 85%, 95%. People who voted for him love him.
Because he's still playing to his base.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right about that. Because what does he do? He tries to get healthcare, pushed through. It doesn't work. He hosts a rally and blames it on everybody but himself.
The thing with Trump and all, I think the thing that, well, it's not going to hurt him most. I think it's going to hurt when it comes to 2020, when you have all these
it's going to kill
open
him
now in the House.
If he doesn't get
it's going to kill the Republican Party.
It's going to kill Trump too.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get it passed by then, or if he passes something, which it's funny when the initial healthcare plan that got turned down or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Fox News. They were looking at it actually, and they were like, "It's a good thing this didn't go through," because had it been passed when they were trying to push it, 26 million people would have lost healthcare. However, those 26 people would have lost healthcare in 2019. Right when election happens. Yeah, right when election season happens. So it literally would have been in the middle of 2019. Everybody would have lost their healthcare, and people would have been pissed going into 2020 elections.
Like, okay.
Yeah, 26 million people. So they were like, they were like, the best thing that could have happened is that didn't go through. Because had it gone through, like 2017, people would have been like, okay, 2018, okay. Then that 2019 would have hit, and they would have been pissed. So,
and even also, Jaymie, even with this ongoing struggle with North Korea, them going back and forth with North Korea, being showing aggression, I think some people, even me, give him a failing grade because of that as well too.
Yeah, he's poking the bear. He's poking the bear.
And he's steady poking the bear, and you see they're really trying to fire this missile. They failed again. They're going to keep trying. And Kim Jong-il, he's when I say crazy man, but he shows no fear.
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose.
No, and we don't know what's going to come of that. So it's kind of like stick to what you say. If you say you're going to do this in North Korea, if you say you're going to do this in regards to the trade, stick to it.
Did you hear with South Korea? So President Trump threatened to make South Korea pay for their missile defense. I think it's like $1 billion.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So South Korea is in the process of decreasing their trade surplus with America.
And they lost a big battle in the court as well with Mexico. I believe it was.
I saw that one. That one was actually it's so. All right, so here's it was. I forgot what it was about, but I know what you're talking about how like U.S. is like unfairly, I want to say, taxing them or whatever.
Yeah, they basically raised it.
So what was happening was that's actually been an ongoing battle since I think like I want to say 2009-ish, 2012. So basically what happened is every time it would go into the court right before it would rule, basically Mexico and US would just have a talk and then be like, all right, we'll do this. We'll change the rules this way. And then it would come up like every 2 years, and then America would just change the rules a little bit. So, they wouldn't lose that court battle. Well, since Donald Trump has taken that hard stance, he wasn't willing to like renegotiate or anything like that. So they lost the trade battle. I mean, they lost the trade.
And also something recently happened. U.S. put a tariff on Canadian lumber, I believe.
Yeah, man. This is going to be interesting. This is what the people voted for. So,
like you said, it's really going to be interesting to see where this goes.
Yeah, because he is, this whichever way you look at it, whether you care or not, this is going to damage a lot of foreign relationships because he's taking the America First approach.
Yeah, Hi America. Yeah, he actually in Hi America, Buy America, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. we're about to see just how much power America has, right? Because he's using
Yeah.
this whole like using America in this powerful position to negotiate, which in most cases we are, most cases. But now we're about to see just how powerful you can use that American name to negotiate.
I think you can use it just to a certain extent.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We're gonna find out what that extent is.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know.
No, I don't think he knows. I don't think anybody
Yeah,
knows just
nobody
yet.
knows. Yeah, so we're gonna find out, and people. It's ironic that the same people who are saying America's weak, it's the weakest it's ever been, are also betting that America's brand is strong enough to be in a
Yeah.
powerful position to negotiate. Which is, it's the irony is just hilarious. But anyway, in any regards, last thing I want to touch on is what does this mean for minorities, the diverse population of America. Well, so far it doesn't look that great, right? I just wrote an
Yeah.
article about
On
how,
paper. On paper, it doesn't. No.
yeah, well, yeah, on paper and in practice, right? You got the Muslim ban, uh,
Right.
possible sanctuary cities being defunded. You've got,
Well, the judge just blocked that for now.
yeah, same with the travel ban. But what does this look like just
Yeah.
moving forward? We got 1,300 days under the President Trump
Yes.
administration. You got LGBT rights being taken away in schools. You
Right.
have organizations such as the government-sponsored organizations such as the Minority Business Development Administration or Association. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head what the A stands for. About to get cut. So as it pertains to diversity, it doesn't really look that great. On the flip side, there are some things that I take that back because President Trump is always on this whole like publicity stunt thing. He loves taking pictures with people and then discarding them. For example, when he made all 100 senators come to that North Korea briefing,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
and then they left, and they was like it was a waste of time.
Yeah, they basically said they didn't learn anything
Yeah,
new.
yeah, yeah. So he's all about that photo op. So I can't even say his he had this women
But
business leaders thing that's
do you think
been
that the photo op phase, do you think that would ever end?
no, not with
Why?
President Trump.
Wow. No.
No,
Never?
no. We're dealing with a
Okay.
guy who's how old is he? 60, 70? This
I
man's been
think he's
doing,
almost 7.
and he got elected president. There's absolutely, when they asked him in the presidency, do you regret anything you said? He was like, nope, because I won.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. There's absolutely no reason why he would change. Even if he got us into a war that resulted in millions of lives lost, there's no reason why he would change because he got what he wanted, which is the presidency.
That's a good point.
Yeah, like he's not changing anything. The only thing that you got to hope for is that he cares. Since he does care about people's perception, he does want to make America great. But then the problem with that is he doesn't understand politics, so he doesn't actually know how to make America great. So
Yeah.
he's leaning on people and their idea on how to make America great, which as a person who's your president, you don't want them to do that. Uh,
Right.
so that's pretty much where we're at. So again, what does this mean for diversity? It doesn't mean as of right now. It's not looking too good. Uh,
But it is up in the air. Things can change tomorrow. You never know.
oh yeah, with President Trump, that is true. In regards to business, it looks great. So if you're a small business, if Trump is able to do what he wants to do, we are looking at historical
Right.
tax breaks. We're looking at a ton of more money. Um,
Right.
being probably revenues hitting record highs, stock
Mm-hmm.
market hitting record highs. We are looking at possibly the best time to own an American business in the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's going to be a give and take here, and although that'll be great for business, as of right now, his tax cuts only benefit businesses and no one else. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, those big businesses and the Wall Street. I mean, you
and
have
small
people
businesses.
complaining about it. So I mean, both of them, both. I mean, okay. But
Yeah,
the fact is, he is a businessman. That's what you elected a businessman. What did you expect?
yeah, but it's gonna suck for the
He
people
wasn't.
who voted for him because which they still haven't realized it, but they will. People voted for him because they wanted the wall built, they wanted to decrease the illegal immigration, they wanted more job opportunities. Those guys like they're gonna get screwed.
The coal miners. The coal miners said it best. He said he was going to do so much for coal miners. In fact, he's done a lot for the people who run the coal mining companies, not the employees themselves.
Uh,
So, I
yeah,
mean,
that
you have situations like that.
I mean that's a whole nother topic about like what the EPA is doing and how they're deregulating different like energy
Climate change.
laws. Yeah, and how that's just we have to be looking forward when it comes to energy resources, and he's
We're not looking for it at
nah,
all.
and he is. I understand if you're a coal miner. I understand, you know, especially if you're in 30s, 40s. I mean, that's what you do. That's your expertise. That's your skill. But at the same time,
Right.
it's kind of like the internet, right? At some point,
Mm-hmm.
everybody had to learn the internet. Remember, we're young enough to where we remember that transition between the '90s and 2000s, where people were moving onto the internet, and it was a struggle for
Yeah.
older people who didn't have that skill set, but they were forced to learn because this is what the future
Mm-hmm.
is. Same thing with energy. I understand you're a coal miner, et cetera, and all this
I
stuff,
see what
but
you're
yeah,
saying.
but like the energies that we need to be focusing on, there's no, we can't continue to push this whole oil piece when there's so much money to be made off of alternative fuels. Like we can't, because if we do, then we're going to be a blockbuster. Well, we're telling people come into our store and rent our videos, and there's this thing called Netflix who's like just do it online. You know,
I got you. Good analogy.
yeah. So that's kind of where
That's a
I
good
see
analogy.
yeah, that's where I see energy going. That's a little bit different. Which yes, he did bring back some jobs for the coal miners, but long term, that's just not what we need to be looking at. So you know, it is what it is. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So that's our take on today's podcast about government diversity and Donald Trump, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh,
And definitely, just leave us some comments, respond to us, let us know if we're doing a good job. I mean, let us know your feelings as well too.
yeah, definitely, definitely. As always, like, follow. I was supposed to say this at the beginning of the darn video, but like, follow, subscribe, and tell us, like you said, tell us what you think and what you want to hear moving forward.
And check this. One more thing: if you're not going to the www.supplynews website, please check out our social media or go to Medium. We're on Medium as well. Jaymie definitely has been
Not to
recently
mention that.
recognized in the top as a top government writer in government. So want to applaud him for that. He's already a top writer in diversity. So uh, check us out on Medium. I mean, it's a great platform. It's an opportunity. If you have any articles that you want to share, you can grow on there. You can get your voice heard and let your articles be seen. But definitely, Jaymie, I want to applaud you on that accomplishment. But I want to let everybody else know we're on more than Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, we're definitely growing. Um,
Yeah.
we definitely
We
are.
made a year old. We made a year old this month.
Oh, we did. That's what's up.
Yeah, we made a year old. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's been about a year. So yeah, I mean we're steadily growing. We appreciate everybody's support, and hopefully, continue sticking with us, and we'll continue uh, feeding you the news that you need. So thank you for your time, and have a great day.
Have a good one.